Hi everybody, welcome back another technical demo. So in this demo, a lot of people actually talk about and then think about Java and AI, like a Gen AI, ChatGPT, Copilot, a lot of the AI powered tool which it can be integrated your IDE tools like a VS Code, IntelliJ, which allows developer make them smarter. But how we Java application make it better, smarter with the AI powered tool, specifically Quarkus. In this demo, we're going to talk a little bit about and showcase how you can develop more smart way Quarkus application like a Java application with AI powered tool with some VS Code. Let's get started. First of all, I just created a new Quarkus application and showcase some demo like a Quarkus-AI. It automatically generates a bunch of the file like a Maven wrapper, compilation profile, and then some of the Docker file in case I need to deploy the application Kubernetes in the sample application like a hello world. So let me try to open and change the directory and open IDE tool like a VS Code, one of my favorite. And then you can see that you can actually install some of the VS Code extensions for AI tool. But for that, let me try to start Quarkus dev like a live coding capability, which is awesome for developer reduce the inaudible processes. So once the Quarkus dev is started, and then you can actually quickly checking the endpoint like a 8080 and hello, which is return hello from REST is reactive. So just like a Quarkus application, you can also go to Quarkus dev UI, and you can start continue testing for like a test-driven development pattern and practices. You can see the unit tests automatically succeed, and then you can actually several options to install your IDE tool for AI powered some capabilities. For example, Amazon Code Whisperer or Amazon Q, which is a preview, which means you can use for free. However, you need to sign in separate AWS account for using Amazon Q. Is an AI powered tool, integrate IDE tool. And then like a Copilot, which is like a monthly payment with $10 for that. So I actually two AI powered tool at the same time on my ID tool, which is VS Code. So like a GitHub Copilot, and then I have Amazon Q. So this is more like I'm going to use Amazon Q, which is for free at this moment. So if you so a little bit hesitated to pay like a $10 for Copilot, you can actually go to Amazon Q and sign up for free, and then you can use AI powered capability to make it better, smarter your Java application development. So once you install extension, you can see there's some kind of chat command, chat window. But also one of the good benefit when you try to develop new business app logic or application, it automatically suggests the code snippet when you type in some of the code on your application file. For example, let me try to add a new endpoint like a REST API, which is I'm going to create a new endpoint with the pass hello and like a name, and then I just enter keyboard, and then it automatically suggests some code snippet here like get pass, and then produce media type and text plain, and you automatically generate some of the method here, and I'm going to change it from AI powered REST easy react, which is cool. Just save file. Then let me go back to terminal window and check out the new endpoint. And I don't need to recompile, rebuild. It automatically apply for the Quarkus runtime, which is recall the benefit of the Quarkus demo, which is live coding. So I just need to spend like a couple of seconds to create a new endpoint, even if I don't have any experience with Quarkus. But here are just some tricky part for developers. So just assuming you don't have any experience with Quarkus or for like a zero experience at all. However, you can ask some of the question or comment just like I had it, like I create a new endpoint to pass hello name, which is a very specific. If you don't specific question like, hey, I just created a new endpoint, and then it probably suggests some incorrect code snippet. I have a several experience, and actually a lot of experience to use Amazon Q and Copilot for my Quarkus app was being built uh, recently, which he allowed me give some lessons to learn how to ask the AI power tools rather than simple question or several questions. Sometimes it takes more time to read some right documentation and then based on my experience. So, so that is a first lessons wrong what for when you use AI powered tool on your ID integrate. Okay, so what is the next step? So every time when I create a new business logic, and then I need to create like a local test, unit test, or the more best practice is you could just create unit tests first based on test-driven development, and then you need to implement actual application. But I just really go to like some opposite way for this demo. So I just create a new test verify new endpoint. It automatically generates Quarkus unit test method here, and it's really working because when I go back to continue testing in WUI, we literally saw that automatically just pass the test use case. I just takes a couple of seconds. So what about the more give some reality use case? For example, I just need to create some data transaction using JPA, like a Java persistent API. So I just go to Quarkus, just assuming I have a rare chance to go through the Quarkus app before. But I know the Quarkus documentation, which is the Quarkus.io webpage. So I just go to Quarkus.io and try to find out JPA, which is Quarkus extension. I need to use that. And I have a bunch of stuff. What about I just searching data rather than JPA? I can also see a lot of Quarkus extension, which means too many choices for me at that time. And then I cannot choose which extension or separate extension I have to use for my data transaction implementation. So instead, I can just go to chat window in Amazon Q or Copilot, just ask, hey, what and which Quarkus extension is for JPA implementation, which is very simple. I don't need to go to Quarkus webpage and open that, try to navigate right page to find the relevant documentation. You can find that, okay, Quarkus JPA, there are a bunch of information here. And here's a keyword. So the extension called Quarkus-ORM, which allows me to implement JPA stuff. And then, okay, how to add the Quarkus hybrid ORM extension to my Quarkus project. So that's why I'm going to ask a second question and follow-on question. How to add the hybrid ORM extension using Quarkus CLI, because I prefer using Quarkus CLI. I can use the CLI or Maven or Gradle command line as well. I just copy and paste on my root directory on my project. As you can see, Quarkus extension add hybrid one automatically edited and pull down the relevant Maven dependency on my local file system. And I just wondering, is that right and correct extension for my purposes? I'm not 100% sure for that. So I just ask one more time, like a double check. Is there any other like a Quarkus extension for having an ORM or Panache, which is I just heard a couple of days ago. I just think I'm not a super expert on Quarkus at this moment. And then, okay, so what is the Panache? I heard that the Panache is some kind of Java project which integrate having an ORM, which allows developer simplify the data transaction, the fundamental operation, for example, delete, like just like a CRUD capability, delete, insert, or create and update some of the behavior with your data store. So I just wondering, is there any chance to use that hybrid ORM Panache at the same time? And I just asked the AI powered tool, and then which just got an answer. Oh, hybrid ORM, and then Panache extension, which allows me to implement JP implementation, which I'm really looking forward to. And then I also needed to ask some of the other questions. I just skip it just for like a more like a connect to PostgreSQL and then like a JSON format processing, which is a reactive JSON. So when I go to PubMax, I just make sure I need to use the hybrid ORM Panache rather than hybrid ORM fundamentally. I just delete that extension, which I don't need to use that anymore. And then I just need to like an entity class here, like for example, person. And then how to make this entity class, like make this Java project class entity class. I just need to comment, make the class entity, like some class Panache entity, which automatically generates this kind. using AI power tools. And then, but the problem is this is one of the tricky part as well. So, the Amazon Q or Copilot, any kind of AI power tool with the integration ID tools, sometimes it's just reporting some old syntax or library. For example, so this is old Java X, like a pretty much old version. Because when I go to my Palm XML, then you can see that I'm actually using Java 21 and then Quarkus REST version 8.2, which means Quarkus 3 actually support Jacquard EE10. So I don't need to, I cannot actually use with this version with the Java X. I need to change it to Jacquard EE. So I can maybe change it to Jacquard EE because I already know that experience and knowledge. That's why I actually find out why this kind of error happens. But in case you don't have any experience Quarkus support, or maybe you don't know what is happening, and then you maybe spend some of the time to figure it out and investigate the issue. So, so, so this is another tricky part. You don't need to maybe you sometimes you need to spend some of the time verify your who's suggested assistant. That is not always correct or solution for your requirement. So let me delete it all kind of stuff and then try to ask a more different way. So why don't we just like use entity annotation and to make this like a class Java APA, and then you can see that the entity class from Panache and then Jacquard A persistent, and then because I didn't say I have zero experience in Java application development. I have more than Java application development as just like a demo developer, but I have almost zero experience for Quarkus. That's why I can ask like an entity, like a annotation, or maybe this is not standard way, but maybe just small hiccup from my previous experience, for example, and then extends like a panache NAV, which is I heard from like another developer. But the problem is this kind of question actually doesn't generate or suggest any kind of entity class extensions. So that is another some like a people when you're using a AI powered tool with your IDE environment. So I just forget about it. Okay, let me try to add more smarter way and some kind of different stuff. Then like another energy extension, but still nothing happened. Maybe I already have a Java class here, and then you can find that there are a bunch of these some other extension code suggestion which is not good. Of course, maybe you can ask chat window in the Copilot, and then it gives some a multiple option, and then you can verify which one would be perfect for your question. But sometimes you don't have any right answer based among that options. So let me try to fix that just in case I already know this one, and then extend the panache entity, and then it automatically generate like some of the suggestion. Okay, you probably needed to name age status because it's a normal attribute for person object. I don't need all kind of stuff, and then I just need to have a name and city. So this is another thing. You always need to verify code suggestion rather than just copy and paste your Java class or property files. So I just needed to just two things and import parallel entity package here, and then go back to resource file. And let me try to add a few REST endpoint here to access data or insert the new data in a personal. To create a new endpoint, we do pass like a person, more specific, I mentioned earlier, and then with all person like a data, which is, and then with the name and city, or like a JSON format, is so you can ask a more specific question, and then you can get more a valid code suggestion. And then produce, I don't need to actually produce because the Quarkus actually, this Quarkus project actually based on React Web application. I don't need to produce annotation, but just leave it in now. And then this is not already stuff. Just this is another thing you need to verify because that is unnecessary code at the moment. Because I don't want to return array. It's more like a JSON. That's exactly I added Quarkus REST is a reactive JSON extension to process, consume, and produce JSON format rather than arrays. Okay, so I just needed to change the return type, the list from the object right now. That's all. Yeah. And then import some of the package here. And maybe I need to, you can see that the other recommendation here, I don't need to do that. But however, I need to create a new endpoint to store person data. So like us create a new data. And then maybe could use the same endpoint, but different HTTP method, which is like a post and store new data. And then with the post method. So and then I just typo in a date, but so this AI tools actually figured out what I meant, and then you can see that and post a method and then generate relevant annotation, and then a write method, and then I go back to terminal window and try to check it out, and then one of the good thing is the Quarkus Depth services automatically standard when you add a relevant extension. For example, I already add the PostSQL extension, which allows my Quarkus local environment to stand up PostSQL as long as you have like a Podman Docker environment. And then when you go to a WI, you can see the relevant configuration or automatic setup, but hide on your application property, which is the mandatory configuration for JDC URL and username word. You can actually copy and paste back to your application property or YAML file and then override whatever you want. And then access to hello and person, which is an endpoint. Nothing in there. Just I haven't added any store. Let me try to add a new application. Oh, I got some error. You can see that. So the luckily I actually forgot to add annotation section. I didn't even know that because I have a rarely chance to use Quarkus software. So, but luckily Quarkus gives some fantastic troubleshooting capabilities. You actually add the transactional annotation, which is cool because I don't need to spend a lot of time to figure out what root code is and then go back to Quarkus.io or Stack Overflow or Quarkus GitHub discussion or Julie chat, which is definitely save my time to fix this issue. So I just need to copy and then transactional and then paste here, transactional annotation, and then back to uh, the endpoint. And then now I just save my new file, Daniel from Boston. And then you can actually check all data. Let me try to add a few more data. Jenny from like New York. Then it return is saved. And then when I retrieve whole data, you can find the two data as well. You can also sometimes, okay, I need to edit some uh, predefined data, for example, in PostSQL, but I have no idea how to write some SQL DML, so like insert, update, because I don't remember how to write it down. So let me go back to chat window and ask that, so give some example. So go to like Amazon Q, and then or Copilot, then I just clear the window, then try to ask any sample for import SQL in Quarkus application. And then it takes some time to generate the code snippet example, but here's the thing, I can't answer that. Maybe there is no relevant resourcing out there in internet, or maybe I got some not good qualified question for that thing. So let me try to re-ask a little bit, make it some specific or more Quarkus relevant question. So how to add an import SQL file to my Quarkus application, really change that thing, and then it generate a right answer. Wow, which is really awkward because this is one of the lessons learned when you use ID, like AI powered integration ID Ottoman. So you need to always ask a more smarter and better question to get better answer. And then when you go to, they see, oh, there are some annotation key value, but the Quarkus step actually automatically, when you when you create the info SQL file and automatically pick that up. That's for like a more production when you're packaging application. Then you can see that and then give some example. And then you could have the same question and then now you give some example, which means the AI tools actually referring the previous question, which is more try to find the relevant answer based on previous question. Okay, so there are some example. I just copy directly into my open file. And then here is a user because I actually not user like a more person. You can also comment like insert new data the person table with the name, ID name, and city. And it automatically generate some example like a DML. Use a call and I just copy and then this is looks good, I think. And then also, I need to, in case I need to add a new data using REST endpoint, need to add the art sequence from sequence number 4. And then that comment slash slave, which is not actually comment on your SQL file. Dash dash is the right way. But when you dash dash and comment, and then AI tool like Amazon Q and Copilot doesn't recognize this is a comment for asking for code assistant. That's why I need to comment starting with the slash slash to. So this is another like a real experience I've spent some of the time with the Copilot and Amazon Q with the IDE integrations. Okay, so it looks good. And then when I go back to terminal, and then it automatically restart Quarkus because whenever you change the code, doesn't matter Java file, configuration file, Quarkus already redeploy and restart automatically underneath. And I have to be data brand new one, like bundle, James, Smith, and Umbra. And then I can actually add the new data as well using post method. For example, like Jenny here. Then I'm going to retrieve the whole data. And now you can see the full data. You can see. Perfect. So maybe this is maybe you can done your application development as a part of inaudible process. But what about the outer loop? For example, I need to deploy this application to Kubernetes, which is like a Red Hat. And then you can actually ask the best practice for some of the knowledge, how to do that. And then, for example, first things which is first extension for the OpenShift the serverless deployment in case I just need to deploy to serverless. And then, so I actually made some typo here, OpenShift an OPEN for OENS like a type. And then you can literally find out, oh, there's no answer. But when I just copy in the same typo question, I just skip the P and OEN and then and ask the chat like a copilot. And interesting part, it actually answer right question, but the Amazon Q doesn't couldn't answer that, which is just some interesting part. And then okay, and then I go back to Amazon Q and then ask the same question after fixing typo here, open and then enter the question and then let's see how the Amazon Q answer and then it generate actually almost similar answer just like a Copilot. So you can actually compare some of the capability among different AI tool based on your IDs. Hope you enjoyed the video and it will be helpful for you the application development journey with the Quarkus app. Thanks for watching and please let me know if you have any question. I'm more than happy to address. Have a good day.